So hello, we are going to talk about today commercial field inspections. So field inspections is such a popular topic, and for many different reasons, because it is a great side hustle, but it also can be great full-time income if you build your business properly, or even alongside of your business to business um, of what you're doing. So I'm sitting comfortably this tonight. So, because I'm completing inspections and I wanted to share something with you. So, sometimes during a commercial inspection, it's not just taking pictures. So, the details, you got to pay attention to the details. You need to grasp the pictures and take the pictures according to how they want the pictures taken. So, every company sometimes is different, but they do usually want them, elongated. Turn your phone and take the picture, and then you're going to upload. If there's any repairs, you're going to need to be doing that, taking the pictures, and make sure you verify the completion of the repair. Sometimes the repairs are not completed, but that's something you're going to notate in the commercial inspection report, because the prior year report is going to be seen and uploaded. You're going to see what the prior year report is. You're going to see what the insurance company is requesting, what information they're requesting. And this is all confidential. These are confidential reports. You're not to share this information. And you don't know the outcome of the insurance. So that's another, if they ever ask you about, how the inspection is, you just say, I'm just completing my inspection report. You'll have to contact the insurance company. So once you make your appointment, so what happens is, I'll walk you through this step. So what happens is you get your caseload or your workload. Sometimes they're assigned to you as an independent contractor, or you have the choice of accepting the assignment or declining the assignment. For instance, if you have a lot of work, or know that you're not going to be able to complete that inspection report, so you can decline it, but you need to accept it or decline it. And then obviously and normally it's within your mile range, your jurisdiction of what you said you would travel. If it's outside of that, then you would ask for your travel reimbursement or any expenses. Each company has its own way of how you fill out that additional monies. So if you're willing to travel additionally, you can certainly ask for that. So again, that's within your contract and depending on what company you're going to be with. So once you make your appointment, which is one of the hardest things to do actually, is making the appointment, scheduling the appointment, and connecting with the company that you need to make the inspection for, and then coordinating the dates. So you're going to do a phone call, and you're going to do a follow-up email as well. So both, right? So you're going to have it in writing, and then you're going to have the confirmation call. So great if you make the connection and you set the date and time. You're going to make sure you show up on the date and time. And complete the inspection. All right? You're going to meet with the individual. You're going to have your clipboard. If there's forms involved, you're going to print those forms out depending on what kind of form it is. A lot of times you'll have looking for my phone, it's up here. You're going to have the app on your phone, and you can complete the inspection within the app. You can do that. Some of the inspections are going to tell you complete this inspection within the app. It wants you to complete it directly there, upload the pictures there, and do that. Those are like the capital inspections. So once you do that, you're going to complete that. So one of the things always required, depending on if it's assisted living, if it's a hotel or storage facilities, nursing home facilities, apartment complexes, any kind of rental space or apartment building, maybe, or if it's a commercial building that rents out offices within there. So the number one thing you're going to ask for is what's called the rent roll. And the rent roll has a lot of information on there that you're going to actually need for your report. So you're going to be able to obtain that rent roll. It's going to say the number of units, maybe the number of parking, the square footage of the building, how many unoccupied, how many vacant, how many down units, all of this, the amount of square footage, the amount of the rent, all of this is going to be in the rent roll. So again, you take this as a learning experience because you're also learning about the property. So when you're doing field inspections, it's not just complete the commercial inspection, learn something from it, take something from this, because now you can actually, think about real estate, and it's a business mindset. You're thinking about other different things. But what I wanted to also cover was, this is when I'll use my scanner, is when I went to one of the properties. So I did probably 6 inspections, and I'm finishing the report. So you have to balance your schedule out. So it's not like, okay, come home and then you're just great, everything's done. No, a lot of times you still have to finish the report and set aside time and upload that report and send it. And then quality review is going to review your report. If there's any errors or if there's anything missing, they're going to send that report back to you and tell you, hey, this was missing. Or a lot of times, sometimes they don't say nothing to you. You submit it, it gets submitted, and you're like, okay, I guess that was good. They don't say good job. They don't say any of that. You're an independent contractor. You need to pat yourself on the back and say, okay, that one was done. I'm getting paid for that. I can see the invoice on there. But anyway, the rent roll, sometimes they will send you the rent roll. They will hand it to you. And when they hand it to you, you're like, okay, well, how am I supposed to get this back to the portal if they didn't email it to you? Depending on, sometimes if it's new management, sometimes new management will just print it out for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. I don't make it a big deal because I know that I can scan my rent roll into this. I can upload it, and then I can add it to the portal. So once, even if you're completing the inspection on your phone under the app, you will always still be able to save it as a web-based program and then log in on your laptop to complete the inspection. Once you complete the inspection, generally within 3 days you need to submit the report, depending on who the company is. Some companies are 12 hours, some are within 3 days, unless there was something missing, and they will ask you, or you just communicate. So don't make it so they have to keep asking you. Communicate with them and say, listen, I did not get this information, or I wasn't able to connect. Even with your phone calls and your follow-ups, you're going to be notating that on your portal as to what attempts you've made. I've had an unsuccessful attempt for this amount of time. They will eventually help you get make a connection, or they will close it out and say this person has been uncooperative. Okay. So once you get that done, get that scanned, get it uploaded, get everything in there, your pictures, they got to be labeled, signage, front end, vacant apartment, occupied apartment, what the unit number, repairs and maintenance, deferred maintenance, or any new findings that you found on there as well. All of these. Comparison properties within about 5 mile radius. Comparison properties need to be on there. Who are the top 5 highest rent, paying people. So commercial inspections, yes, they pay higher, but yes, they require work, and you're going to need to balance it. So when you get with a good company, it has good amount of work, and say you're doing notary work and you're used to some paperwork, that's great, but you need to balance. So there's going to be plenty. Now you see why there's plenty of work available for people, because people don't stay, and you're like, I'm not sure about this. You wasn't sure about being an independent contractor, because nobody's really chasing you. You're just asking you, like, where's the work? Where's the completed report? You said you had the inspection scheduled on this day, and we're looking for you to show up, and we're looking for a completed report. So those are, commercial field inspections. You want to get paid fully. You want to complete the inspection fully. So if you don't complete it fully, there may be a partial payment depending on your agreement, or there may be no payment. But it's up to you to keep your word and keep your work ethic and be consistent and find the balance. You need to be organized and find your balance with, balancing your inspections once you get all of those cases forwarded to you. So that's just something I wanted to share with you. If you are doing field inspections or interested in commercial inspections, that's kind of how the process is going to go. You can use a scanner and scan and upload any of the documents that they do provide you in person. So if If you have any questions, be sure to drop it in the comments. Other than that, grab the free inspection guide and start applying with those companies if you're interested in joining a field inspection.